Today is the 28th of September. It's Tuesday afternoon. We have been out of the woods now for probably almost a week or something like that. The weather's been just crap everywhere. We were up in North Dakota for quite a while. Warm weather came in, deer kind of shut down, so we came back. JP had a wedding this last weekend, and now we are repacking and getting ready to hit the road. We're gonna run up to or run over to Nebraska and try some public land over there, try to get a whitetail on the ground. Alex Comstock's cousin is local to one of the areas we're gonna go try to hunt. He's kind of pointed us towards a couple pieces of public, and he's kind enough to give us a place to crash, so we're gonna take advantage of it. Cruise over to Nebraska tomorrow. Probably won't hunt until Thursday. It's supposed to cool down. It's in the 90s over there today. I think 80s tomorrow, 70s by Wednesday, or by Thursday. So we are just trying to organize our mess, pack light, going to Nebraska, then probably from there up to North Dakota, then maybe to South Dakota, then back to Nebraska, and then we don't really know. We're just gonna give her hell and hopefully we can kill some deer here. But we got a lot of stuff to organize, and then fling some arrows here this afternoon yet. And we'll be on the road tomorrow for Nebraska. We're just pulling out of Wisconsin, heading for Nebraska. Should be there sometime decent time here this afternoon, and hopefully ride around with Caleb tonight, kind of check out some areas. Plan is tomorrow probably get some cell cams out and jump in a tree somewhere tomorrow night. Temperatures are supposed to be in the 80s yet today, but tomorrow back down in the 70s, so we are getting a little bit of a cold front. We're hoping it's enough to get these bucks up and moving. He's been sending me trail camera photos from private land that he hunts close by, and these bucks are starting to get ramped up, really starting to hit scrapes. So hopefully with this cold front, we can get lucky here, knock one down, but keep her between the lines. And next stop is Nebraska. Two brats, kraut, jalapenos, sour cream and dill chips, sun drop. Don't find that too many places. Can't pass it up when you do.
Big buck killing recipe.
I agree. We are less than an hour from our destination in Nebraska. We are a little early. Caleb, our host, doesn't get off of work till 4 o'clock, or ain't gonna be home till 4. So we're gonna have about a half hour to kill. Gonna try to find a Walmart, need to get some butane for the thermocell so we can be burning kill drift all trip. But we ain't gonna hunt tonight. I think Caleb's actually gonna drive us around and show us some of these public pieces and just kind of get stuff marked. That way we've got an idea of where we got to be.
Caleb,
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
JP?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Shit, this is the hottest it's been all day.
Yeah. It's supposed to cool off.
Should be pretty damn good.
Yeah, hopefully.
If shit's popping like it is on my private property, it should be pretty good up there.
Yeah. Yep.
Shouldn't be bad.
Just got all settled in at the Comstock residence. Met Caleb and his family. They are taking good care of us. Pretty much letting us invade their house. But Caleb's gonna run us out right now. We are gonna check out some public spots that he knows of and thinks are gonna be worth our time. So we're gonna roll out there. We still got a few hours till dark in a couple different areas that we're gonna go take a look at. He actually threw some cameras out on a couple of them, so we might pull a card here too, and then probably come back and eat some dinner, drink some beer, and game plan. But excited to be in Nebraska, brand new part of the state I've never hunted before. Hopefully we can get on one. We just drove past the first chunk of public. It's pretty much a big bluff. There's a couple hundred feet in elevation change. Big timber. Most of the deer coming down into these bottoms. There's corn and beans, and we've seen several just piss-pounded highways coming down off the hill. Deer coming out of the timber, coming down to the ag fields. It looks really good, and I think you're gonna outwork anybody else that's probably hunting it if you pack up onto that bluff and climb a couple hundred feet in elevation. So it looks really promising. Our biggest concern is probably going to be getting in there for afternoon hunts without blowing deer out. But Caleb's thinking that they're pushed far enough back up in there that we should be able to get up onto that bluff. So definitely a good option. We're going to keep rolling and check out another spot here. Got back into a spot. Caleb actually threw a camera out here 4 or 5 days ago on a mock scrape, kind of on the edge of this. There's a little wood lot, bunch of, I don't think it's CRP, it's just tall overgrown grass out here. But kind of a cool looking spot. Super easy to slip in here. He just pulled the card out of the camera. He's gonna pop it in the computer and see what's been rolling through here.
Wow, I think that looks like 12.
Pulled the card here, 12 photos. A couple of them were a tractor, a couple does, a couple coyotes. That's about it. I ain't giving up. This is a cool looking area. It's different than anything we've hunted in this state. I'm excited to get after it. We're gonna go, I think, east of here, down another access road. And Caleb said there's some alfalfa fields back in there in a pretty secluded area that we're pretty optimistic about. So we're gonna head back to the truck here and go check out another spot.
But yeah, so like you can see like there's a gap right there, and that's where that food plot is back up in there. Yeah, this would be the other spot.
So that road is just right up the edge.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep.
Okay. And you're thinking, where do you?
I would assume if they're bending on this side, this is like all thick, nasty buckbrush shit.
Yeah.
So I would assume up in there, or it's just somewhere in the CRP and they're transitioning through. There's a spike. I think it's a little spike.
Spiker. Got back to the house, pretty productive evening. Caleb showed us a handful of spots. A couple of them look really good. We got a little bit more scouting we're gonna do tomorrow. We just got back here, got a good meal in us. Our hosts have been just outstanding. Fed us, gave us a place to sleep. Caleb's been a good guide already. Now we're watching the Brewers. I mean, it's just been great here in Nebraska. Way better than our experience out in western Nebraska up to this point. So we'll see. We're gonna hit the road somewhat early in the morning and go do some more scouting, and hopefully we'll be hunting tomorrow afternoon. I just walked back into this piece of public. Caleb showed it to us from the road last night. We kind of wanted to get back in here. He said there's like a green clover alfalfa grass field in here that these deer, there's quite a bit of sign actually back in here. It's just a long, narrow field that's probably only 30, 40 yards wide by a couple hundred yards long maybe. But we've already noticed a couple fresh rubs. Caleb hung a camera up here, but we didn't get much intel off it. It was shooting straight down at the ground. He hung it pretty high in the tree. So not much intel there. Heading out for the afternoon. Got some weather moved in. Calling for scattered thunderstorms. We might get hit by it. Might not. It looks pretty greasy down here. But the radar, it shows the storm cell traveling straight north. Like, I've never seen a radar look like it does. I'll show you what it looks like. Anyway, the storm cell is traveling straight north. We just don't know if it's going to clip us or not. We still have another 10 miles to go this way. And it's going this way, so we'll see how productive this afternoon is. We're on our way back to the house. It's still kind of raining, thunder, lightning. We just weren't gonna sit. I mean, there's only an hour and a half till dark, but just checked the moultrie that we put back on that narrow food plot this morning and just got our first decent buck. And when I say decent, I mean I will shoot him here in Nebraska after eating my tag for 6 years. I think he's a little 10-pointer. He could probably use a year, maybe 2, but if I get an opportunity at a deer that caliber, I ain't passing it up in this state. Hey guys, welcome back to another First Light in the Field. It is October 1st. We are hunting whitetails here on the east side of Nebraska. Temperatures have been extremely warm, pretty much the same we've been dealing with for the last month. No matter where we're at, it's just been warm everywhere. So unfortunately, I don't have any new gear to talk about today. As you've seen, we walked in today in a wick short sleeve.
was probably 75, 78, somewhere in there on the walk-in. We walked in with stand sticks and all of our gear, hung our stands comfortably. I got the sawbuck pants on, and I'm probably just gonna rock the wick short sleeve the rest of the night. It's not really still supposed to cool off much at all. Wick short sleeve is great for warm temperatures. It really wicks the sweat, and it's extremely breathable. If you haven't already, head over to firstlight.com, check out their whitetail gear. We're gonna see if we can't kill a buck here in Nebraska. It's October 1st. It's our first sit here in Nebraska. We got in here in this area on Wednesday, just in time to kind of drive around, do some scouting. We scouted all day yesterday. We were planning on hunting last night, but we got rained out. We're finally in a tree. We're actually set up in a spot that Caleb tipped us off on. It's more or less a grass field, but there's a lot of clover popping up through here, so it's probably, well, I just ranged it. It's 35 yards to shoot across it, but it's 200 or 300 yards long. We threw a Moultrie cell cam in here, probably another 40 yards down a couple days ago, and actually just yesterday, and it had some daylight activity on it last night. One decent buck, some does, but there's a lot of cover around us. There's good cover on the other side of the plot, good cover behind us. We're putting a lot of faith in kill drift here tonight, blowing our wind up in here. We'll see what happens. We've got about 2.5 hours until dark. 2.5. We're down to about our last 15 minutes. We've seen 6 skinheads so far. 4 of them within bow range, 2 of them down on the other end of this food plot. We still got 2 fawns out in front of us right now. And they're staring hard down to the other end. We can't see anything down there, but there's got to be more deer down there. It's been a pretty eventful sit. We'll see if something happens here in the last 15 minutes. It's 4:15 here on Saturday. We've been out here messing around shooting bow here for the last hour, but we are getting ready to head in. Gonna go back in the same spot that we sat last night. At dark last night, we ended up pulling the stands down, left them at the base of the tree. Our plan tonight is to scoot further down that field. Not sure. We're gonna see what it looks like, but we're gonna try to get closer to the end because we feel like there were, well, JP seen 2 does down there for sure while it was still good light, but as it was starting to get dark, the deer that were out in front of us kept staring down there, so I got a feeling that there's other deer using that end of the field that we couldn't see. So the plan is tonight, we're gonna bump further down in there and hope for the best. We got pretty good weather. It's in the 60s right now, probably 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. So wind's blowing about 10 to 15 miles an hour, pretty steady out of the northwest. So we're gonna slip in there, hang a new set, climb up in it, hopefully shoot a buck tonight. It's our second night here in Nebraska. We slipped back into the same spot that we hunted last night, but we scooted down the field probably 150 yards or so. We had deer on us last night, but we also seen more deer down on this end of the field. And right before dark, a couple of deer in front of us us just kept staring down here, and we couldn't see what they were seeing, so we got a feeling that we were missing stuff down on this end, so we decided to pull the set down and bump down the field. Feels like a good spot, really good spot. We got really thick stuff back here behind us. And obviously we got the field over my shoulder here. And then there's a lot of cover on the other side of the field between the field and the river. The river's probably, well, you can see it to the north, but it kind of bends around. It's probably 400 or 500 yards. Just thick, nasty stuff, so. Running out of light here pretty quick. Surprisingly slow night. We haven't seen a single deer. That's pretty much going to be a wrap on the week. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Check out the action on the semi-live if you haven't already. Head over to Waypoint TV and also Roku. We have done an early release on the last half of our episodes from season 8, so all 16 episodes are on Waypoint TV and also on the Roku app. But that's going to be a wrap for tonight. We're going to give it one more go here in Nebraska tomorrow and see what happens. After that, we're going to head to North Dakota. We got to get batteries and the cameras up there and see what's going on. And then we might end up in South Dakota at some point during the week also. It's supposed to be warm weather again all week. Kind of sucks, but what do you do? But anyway, that's it for second night here in Nebraska.